Hey everyone, welcome to the Melanin Report. Before we jump into today's topic, I want to make a disclaimer. This podcast, whether you are listening on Anchor, Spotify, or now YouTube, is strictly for commentary purposes. I try to be as accurate as I can and do as much research as I can, but I am not a primary source for news, so please keep that in mind. So the first story that I want to cover is Niecy Nash getting married. Not only did she get married, a whole year later after getting divorced from her ex-husband, Jay Tucker, but she married a woman. This woman, who is Jessica Betts. Jessica Betts has worked with numerous artists on tour, including K. Michelle during her Rebellious Soul tour in 2013. She also competed in and won the first and only season of the reality competition series, The Road to Stardom with Missy Elliott. This whole wedding situation has definitely took the internet by storm. I haven't really seen too many negative comments, if any. I think that with this story, people are they're confused, but they're not like, oh my God. Like, I've seen a lot of people be like, oh, I'm not surprised, or oh, like, okay. Like, people are pretty accepting of it. Like, people aren't like really being mean about it or being like, oh, this is fake. Like, no, people are actually like, accepting this. And so, nobody even knew she was getting married to begin with, and that she would even get married so soon after her divorce. But people do what they want. People say all the time, like, there's no time frame with finding true love and stuff like that. And if you find it quick, you find it quick. And people surely didn't know that she was bisexual or gay. It hasn't really been confirmed what she identifies with, but it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I think that overall people are just happy for her. And so I definitely wish her success in her marriage to Jessica. And so, okay, moving on. We have another celebrity in the news who has been in contact with the coronavirus. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has come out and said that not only him, but also his wife and 2 kids all tested positive for COVID-19. Y'all, this is why we tell y'all. And I don't know, like, what he's been doing or who he's been in contact with, but it's just a general, disclaimer to everyone out there listening. Stay at home. It's not worth it. I'm telling you. The beach, even going out to restaurants. Like, I mean, I'm kind of maybe sort of considering going to a restaurant for my birthday just because I don't know what else I would do in this pandemic. I don't know I don't know what I'm gonna do. So, going to a restaurant every now and then, I guess is fine, but I just feel like you really shouldn't be out unless you absolutely have to be out. You shouldn't be shopping just because you're bored. Like, if you actually need some stuff, then yes, like, go shopping, go do what you have to do, because at the end of the day, we can't stay cooped up forever. Like, we have to get back to the way life was, at least somewhat. But I don't know, this just goes to show you, man, like, this pandemic is still a thing. And the fact that there are still people out there, and I'm not saying this is applying to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, but this is more so to the fact that the United States is having such a hard time with this pandemic. Like, people aren't taking it seriously. Some people don't think it's real, and it's turning into like a big political debate about whether or not to wear a mask. And I promise you, COVID-19 doesn't care about your political affiliation. Like, wear your mask or stay at home if you don't want to wear a mask. Like, it's really not that hard to comply with the rules and regulations, because at the end of the day, the sooner we do what we don't want to do, the sooner we'll be able to go back to what we were doing. And I wish that more people understood this, and then we can kind of get back on track like how these other countries are. I mean, I just seen an article the other day about the whole Milan situation, but and I forgot. I think it was Japan, but don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. But one of those countries, they're going to be opening their theaters back up for people to go see Mulan, like in theaters, in person. Like, that's how much they've been able to get past all of this. And so, you know, I say all that to say, just do your part so all of this can just be over, because I had COVID-19 and it's not something that you want to play around with. And so, yeah, we had this news with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and his family. It's definitely heartbreaking to hear, and I have no doubt that he will recover, and I'm definitely sending his family well wishes during this time. And lastly, once again, a company is in hot water for stealing ideas from a black person. Go figure. Nickelodeon, the popular kids network and one of my favorite kids networks when I was growing up, recently announced a new TV series called Made by Maddie, which was set to premiere on Nick Jr. However, people quickly called out the network for the many similarities between the characters of the series and the characters from Hair Love. Hair Love is a short animation film created by Matthew A. Cherry. The film even won an Oscar. And between the two animations, the one that Matthew Cherry made and Nickelodeon, there were so many similarities in character designs, and even with the cat. Even the cat was the same. And even Matthew himself took to Twitter to express his suspicions of his work being copied. And honestly, I feel like the internet is so quick to be accusatory at times, and I did want to believe that this may have been a coincidence, but the similarities between the two are just way too obvious. From the pink hair accessory on the main character to the cat, like, it's just so evident. Like, they couldn't even change the cat. And, you know, since all this controversy, you know, Nickelodeon, of course, has now pulled the series altogether. You know, and it's just like, because they did claim that they have been working on this series way before Matthew had even, because apparently Matthew Cherry started a GoFundMe or something to fund the creation of Hair Love, and Nickelodeon claims that they have been working on Made by Maddie, or with Maddie, whatever, way before his GoFundMe started for his thing. And so there's no possible way that they could have copied him. But I don't know, I mean, even maybe they did have the show together and the concept together, but they still could have copied, they could have copied the style and the look of the characters after the fact, after seeing, Matthew Cherry's Hair Love. And so, I don't know if them pulling it was a good move or not. I think I would have preferred if they just went ahead and collaborated with Matthew on this series, or maybe helped to fund his own series that he did plan on coming with, which he stated on Twitter. And, you know, to me, this may make them look a little bit more guilty, because if they honestly had created this series from scratch, it didn't steal anything from him, and it had been an honest coincidence, I don't think that they should have or would have pulled the whole thing all together. But, you know, who knows? You know, maybe the public backlash was too much and they knew that the series might not do well. So maybe it was a good thing on their part to pull it. But let me know what you guys' thoughts are on all the topics that I talked about today in the comments down below. And I will see you guys in the next video.